The youngest member was 5 years old. They were blessed by Christian Orthodox monks of the Serbian military. I never once, Catalina, blamed Christianity. I never once said Christians explain. Why do I have to keep explaining to people like you about Islam? When are you guys going to be fair? The massacre of the Bosnians in Srebrenica, which was the greatest crime against humanity since World War II. Go look at the videos, Catalina. They have the Orthodox cross. That's not Orthodox Christianity. Do you think that that's right what they did? Unarmed men inside of a United Nations camp. I know that's not Christianity. That's why I've never ever once said, this is Christianity's fault. Never once. Yet even here, I have to try to defend my faith. My family was massacred by Christians. I don't consider them Christian. That's my whole point. Yeah. They were not Christian. I explained this to Albanians.
They're actually military people. They weren't even...
Listen to me. They're there. Go look at the video. The monks are blessing them with the water and go into battle. And I never once blamed Christianity. And I'm getting sick and tired as a Muslim having to defend the actions of criminals and terrorists and all this other shit, when if we want to fucking throw a glass, a rock, as Jesus said, he who has not sinned, throw the first stone. You guys don't even have a fucking foundation to stand on when it comes to that argument. You don't. And history,
you're talking about the
ask ChatGPT, what religion has caused more loss of life? Was it Islam or Christianity?
We have to remember that Islam came in 700, so we were in the 1st century. You guys were, how many centuries? 6 centuries after us.
You guys are great with centuries. It took you 325 years to figure out if Jesus was God or not God. You had a debate for 325 years amongst yourselves.
It's actually
Ebionites. You ever heard of the Ebionites? They were the first followers of Christ, and they were exterminated. The Ebionites were Jews, the Israelites, because they didn't use that word.
Most were, yeah.
That believed Jesus was a prophet and not God. They were exterminated by people like Paul, who wrote 28% of your New Testament, a man that never met Christ. If you want to talk about authenticity and how far after, we came 600 years. But the Muslim would say, okay, well, you want to say Muhammad came 600 years after Jesus. How many years after Moses did Jesus come? Who gave him the right? And that's the Jews' argument. He came after Moses. Who's he to tell? So that argument can be used against Christianity also. And again, this is not to pick on you. I'm just showing you, when you ask this question, understand that it can be flipped right back.
If you look at his line, his bloodline, he comes from King David. So he is part of the...
He was from the house of Jacob.
And Mary comes from the blood of
Mary
King
was from
David.
Jacob, that's correct. But Abraham had 2 sons. Mm-hmm. One became the Israelites, one became the nation of the Arabs. They're cousins. And the Muslims believe when they killed John the Baptist, they chopped his head off. And then they tried to hang Jesus on the cross. They lost revelation from the Creator. And we believe that comforter that's mentioned in John 15 and John 16 was none other than the Prophet Muhammad. This is the difference in faith. You can deny it all you want. We'll find out when he comes back. Until then, let's focus on the common enemy. Who's the common enemy? People that want war, that want to make large groups of people fight each other, that want to alter the creation of God, that want you to say, no, you're a man, you could be a woman, and to defile everything the Creator created. That is the common enemy. I promise you it's not the Muslims. That I can promise you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And until then, because I don't want the podcast to get canceled for going too much.
We're already in radioactive territory. So you might as well release this on Rumble. We're in trouble.
Yes. So
I know you're enjoying it.
And I don't want to get too much into the religion right now because it's going to get
She goes,
long.
I don't want to get into religion, but I'm asking you a question about Muslim rapists. And use the word Muslim. Why not just say migrant rapists?
Now because, we're going to get...
They use the word migrant in America, but for Europe, they're Muslim. They don't call all the Latinos coming from down south Catholic migrants. But notice the double standards. Notice the racism. Notice the Islamophobia. How come we don't call them the Mexicans, the Salvadorians,
we're
the Peruvians?
We're going to present you this article
the Mexicans, in my opinion, they got a right to go all the way up to Texas and California because it was stolen land.
No.
This
is a question from the Parliament,
but
the European Parliament.
But do they call them Catholic migrants?
They came in.
Why do they classify these people? Which, by the way, you have people like Dominik Tarczewski of Poland.